It's really grimy. Like, it might not look it on camera, but it's really bad. Like,
For those of you wondering what we're talking about, Max has a very, very grimy hat that he's had for 11 years. And it's Wisconsin's got it's got the mascot on the side, of course.
mhm.
Um, it's browning in some areas. There's some
Oh, it's horrible. It's the most horrific looking hat on earth. Like, if you see it up close, the camera doesn't do it any justice. It looks just terrible. It's an awful shape.
but Notre Dame's scared, right?
But Notre Dame is scared of the hat. And here's what I must say: the week 1 game against Penn State, I wasn't wearing it while I was watching it. Just gonna say.
See, during the Heat playoffs, I wasn't holding my lucky towel.
Look, people say superstitions are stupid. Those people are stupid. Superstitions are legit.
They're stupid-stitious.
They're legit. I totally 100% believe in them.
So I have a very ratty Alex Ovechkin jersey from the 2015 Winter Classic.
Oh wait, hold on. This will be totally visual, but we can describe it. I'll let you continue on your ratty Ovechkin shirt, and I'll show you my ratty Heat championship shirt.
Because I feel like his career and his success depends on me keeping that jersey.
Yeah.
I feel like if I get rid of it, he's going to not play as well anymore.
Yeah. Here's a closer look on this hat.
It looks a little better closer. I don't know. It's pretty gross, but keep it.
It's really, really, really rough.
It's fitted.
What? Yeah.
It's a nice fitted hat.
So there's the trophy's already on its way out there. The rest of it's nice, but
oh yeah, no, that trophy's looking really rough there. But
yeah, just like the Heat's chances of winning another trophy.
Look, we all have our very sentimental sports items and stuff. Like, this hat is it for me. Like, that championship shirt is for Jeremy. Like, the Ovechkin shirt is for Jesse. Like, we all have these. That's what makes sports great.
The thing is that I knew exactly where it was. It was right at the top of my drawer for some reason. That just tells you all you need to know about how much that shirt means to me.
Well, and that's the thing with me. I can literally never be in the same spot or be in a different spot as this hat. Like, legitimately, if it is somewhere where I am not, I worry about it 100% of the time. Like, I'm sitting alone at night thinking, like, is the hat okay? Like, is it fine? Like, it's an unreasonable connection to a piece of clothing. This hat is.
So, Max, when you are 80 years old, are you still going to be wearing the hat?
I think I will be, honestly. Like, if you ask my parents, what's my most prized possession, I bet they might say the hat, legitimately.
Where'd you get it? Do you remember where you got it, what you were doing? And
okay, I do remember it. Exactly. Christmas 2010, I got from my uncle. And then I wore it to the 2011 Rose Bowl, which Wisconsin lost, but let's ignore that. But that's when I got it. I've worn it to literally every single Wisconsin football game I've gone to since then. And
yeah, go look at all the pictures. Every single picture, he's wearing the hat.
Every single one, I'm wearing the hat. It's
under stocking caps.
I wear under stocking caps. Yes, I'm going back to Madison in 2 weeks to go to a game. This is going to be the first thing I make sure I pack, because I can't go to a Wisconsin game not wearing this hat. It's a real problem, and I'm actually kind of concerned for myself about it.
Someone that we're more a little bit concerned about, but actually happy for, is the Hamilton quarterback that threw up all over himself, but then threw the game-winning touchdown.
I can't pronounce his last name, but I know that his first name's Nico, and I know that watch out Big 12 because he's headed to West Virginia.
Yeah.
A lefty.
Oh,
I don't know how amazing he looked in all those highlights, but God, the guy never gives up. I'll give him that.
He didn't give up on that last play where he threw a touchdown while throwing up at the same time. No, but let's just unpack this for a second. Actually, me and Jesse were talking about Pat White yesterday, so it kind of makes sense that we talk about this quarterback because he's going to West Virginia and he's a lefty quarterback. But that game was one of the most insane football games. It doesn't even have to. It could be Pee Wee, high school. It doesn't matter. That game was incredible.
Mm-hmm.
Little Pee Wee 7-on-7 flag.
That finale was unbelievable. Like, I mean, it gave everything you want out of football. Just because like a team was down by like 20 with a minute left and won, like that's unbelievable, amazing. Like you never see that. So only in high school can that happen, and it happened.
And
Yeah,
that
that's
was
what
only
I love about Friday Night Lights is like there's just crazy stuff that happens that you never like see in other football. That's why I like to be around Friday Night Lights, even if I don't necessarily enjoy the like the whole high school sports scene. Like the games, you can't deny that the games are exciting. But they can also be the worst football you've ever watched in your life.
So apparently my high school no longer has a varsity team at this moment in time. They just have a JV team. And so the other day the homecoming game was a JV game.
Okay.
This is my cousin told me this. So I mean
Jefferson
I believe
Forest
her.
Cavaliers update. Let me pull it up.
See, the opposite happened with my high school, where now it's only varsity because there's not enough other kids to make a JV team too.
There's not enough good kids to make a varsity team at my school.
Well, here's the difference between your old high school and my old high school is your old high school actually had good players.
Yeah.
And my old high school, like the best players went to D3 schools. Except for one who ended up except for one who
the
went
short
to
guy.
played really well.
Yeah.
What?
The short guy.
Oh yeah, he's still playing on Wisconsin somehow. Yeah, he's a wide receiver. He's the number 4 wide receiver on Wisconsin still. I don't know how.
Ah, so he rotates in there.
He's still
Yeah,
playing.
he got a catch versus Penn State.
We are.
He's got to be like a seventh year senior.
Well, no, he's younger than me, so I believe he's a 6th year.
Okay. All right.
But
So
like
he's playing
unless-
those Shakes Lucas years.
Yeah, unless he's watching this, I'm not gonna get too much into it. He's a phenomenal like player. I mean, like he's getting minutes for Wisconsin football. Like that's amazing. Like he's really gritty and like great. But like whenever I'd walk past him in the hallways, he's like this tall on me. He's like just a really, really tiny human being.
So
I just find it funny that he plays for Wisconsin football.
my Jefferson Forest high school football update. Cavaliers, my high school. So they're 0-3. This is their second football season this year because COVID. They played in the spring. Yeah, they lost 12-9 in their first game to Gretna. They lost 49-16 to Pulaski County in their second game, and then to our absolute arch rival, the alma mater of, I think you say that for high school still, alma mater of one Logan Thomas, Brookville High School. They beat us 68-14 on the 17th. Up next, we got Amherst County coming in at 1-1. So, yeah, not the best season so far for my high school. Must be going through some transition years. We were really good when I was there. None of the guys ended up doing anything.
My school won a state championship while I was there, and now they don't have a varsity team.
My school came one game away from state championship my freshman year, and then only made the playoffs once after that. But my freshman year, they had a blocked field goal. If they would have made the field goal, they would have made the state championship at Camp Randall, which nobody understands this, but my school is the closest high school to Camp Randall in the state. Like it's less than a mile from Camp Randall, and that would have been such a cool thing to like have them.
That place would have had a good amount of people there.
Hmm?
There would have been a solid 5,000 at Camp Randall.
Here's my thing. Every single person who goes to my high school would have been at that game. Because like I said, it's like literally right down the street from Camp Randall. Like people park there for Badger football games and stuff. So like it would have been really cool to like have seen them play there. But yeah, they didn't.
So we made it to the state semifinals on when I was a junior in high school. and there were 7,000 people at the game. And we have a tiny stadium with a bunch of hill around it. It's like a bowl.
Yeah.
But there's very little stands. Most people just either sit in the grass or put up like their own chairs or whatever.
Little lawn chair action.
So I had just been hired for my first high school job, like my first job ever. And so I wasn't able to take off that day. And I was super bummed about it. And then like a couple of because it was literally right across from my high school where I worked. And a couple of like my friends came in after the game, or in like the third quarter, they came in and they were like, oh yeah, we're down 49-14. So I'm like, oh, well, I didn't really miss anything. Yeah, we lost to like this super big power in my state that plays at the stadium that the Stag Bowl, the D3 championship, was for like 20 years.
Stag Bowl, UW Whitewater. Woo!
UW Whitewater has won like 3 or 4 national championships at that stadium and played in like 10 straight. And
yeah, probably featuring like half of my high school.
Yeah, it's like Mount Union versus UW Whitewater, and Pierre Garçon always would like show up and be on the sidelines.
Yeah, half of my like all the great players from my high school went to UW Whitewater, so they played in a lot of Stag Bowls.
I love
Put it on the poll. Did you think that there would be a Pierre Garçon reference on the show today?
Pierre Garçon was good. He had a 100-catch season for Washington.
He had a few really nice years.
Yeah, it was fine. He was the third receiver on that Indianapolis team, right?
Fourth, I think. I think Austin Collie would be the third.
Oh my gosh, Austin Collie. I hope he's okay.
Oh God, his brain damage has to be just. Oof.
All right, moving on. Speaking of brain damage, more football.
Yeah.
I guess the most exciting game there are 2 really exciting games of the day. The Alabama-Florida game was really fun. And also the Penn State and Auburn game was exciting all the way to the end. Not sure why you would try and get an interception there. Just knock it down. Like, come on. I don't understand. It's like, there's no time left. Just knock the ball down. What happens if you tip it up in the air and then someone comes in, takes the ball, brings it into the end zone? Just hit it to the ground. I don't understand why these corners just like. Think about it, man. Max,
I was watching the Sun Devils.
I agree. No, but the Penn State Auburn game, I mean, legitimately, completely what I was missing over the last year was a football game that was totally like the difference between college football and the NFL is the NFL is like good football, like obviously. But college football is just everything that goes into it. And that's what Penn State Auburn brought to us. I feel like that was the first time this year that we really got that. So it was the first time since 2019.
Wait a minute. You North Carolina and Virginia Tech a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, okay, shut up. So yeah, Penn State versus Auburn was the first time that I really felt like college football was back. Like this was college football in its entirety. Whiteout at Penn State. Crowd going insane every single play, like the passion, the pageantry, seeing Bo Nix, who I've watched play college football for 10 years at least, versus Sean Clifford, who I've watched play college football for like 8 years at least. Like it was just everything I could have wanted. This was one of my most enjoyable college football viewing experiences of the year, even though the refs tried to ruin it with everything they had.
Somehow Bo Nix is still a freshman.
Bo Nix has been in college football forever. I specifically remember watching his first game, and I'm pretty sure I was in grade school.
Yeah, but he's still a freshman on the roster.
I totally believe it at this point.
He plays like no matter how many years of experience that he has playing quarterback for the Auburn Tigers, he will just continuously play like a freshman.
And he's still got, but he always, they'll always say he still has some room to grow. He's still got some room to grow. He's got to figure some things out. He's still learning.
He's really high in the draft because he's going to look amazing throwing in shorts. Like it's going to be like they're going to say, oh man, his throws really, really good. Like, it's like, yeah, I know. Like we get it.
He didn't have quite the weapons that he needed at his SEC power.
He's the new Geno Smith, where he's just going to look amazing at the combine. Like, people are just going to be like, this guy is the next like Aaron Rodgers, like when they watch him at the combine.
At the combine too.
Well,
Taking a phone call, Jeremy.
Jeremy's on the phone.
Okay. Max, so you've been to one college football game this year?
I have. It might soon be 3, but I've been to 1 so far.
So you're going again to the Wisconsin game against Michigan.
Yep, I might be going to Arizona State, Colorado. I'm not sure.
Ooh, I have another friend coming for that game.
I might be going. I'm not sure yet.
Well, that's this weekend, right? Yeah, that's
Yep.
the game. Yeah, that'll be an interesting game between a couple of bad teams. I made some wild hot takes in our chat that I won't get to about Arizona State, but I think the Pac-12 South champion might need 7 or 8 wins.
Yeah, it's really rough in the Pac-12 South right now. I think UCLA is the best. I think UCLA is the best team. It's just real rough though.
I think the Pac-12 North, it's pretty rough too, but there's Oregon, which might be the best team in the country.
Oregon's really pushing them up. I think Oregon's a top 5 team in the country for sure.
Here's my hot take. Alabama won't make the playoff this year.
I could see it possibly. My issue
Alabama does it, right? Alabama has that 1 year after they have the national championship where they need to go play in the Outback Bowl 1 year.
My issue with Alabama is there's so few elite teams in college football this year. Like legitimately, I'm sitting here looking at like Alabama, Georgia, and Oregon are really good. I don't know who else is. Like honestly, every single other team other than those 3 have serious question marks.
This is a really bad year for talented college teams.
It's a really bad year for college football in general. Like this is just a mess of a season. And I think it could like result in a really fascinating playoff at the end of it. Like I really hope we get just like some random teams in the playoff because this year of college football looks just horrible on paper.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense either too, because half these guys are like 23 and 24 years old. Like they're coming back for their 5th and 6th seasons when they like Brian Robinson Jr. out there for Alabama, their running back. That guy could be an NFL starter probably right now, just because like he just sat behind a bunch of really good running backs for 4 years and but every time he would touch the ball, like in the national championship game, every time he touched the ball, he ran it for like 10 yards. So
Zach's official statement. He said, "Go Pats," and then he said, "Knits college football playoff sleeper." I don't think they're very much a sleeper anymore.
They're not a sleeper at this point. Like they're definitely like one of the few favorites.
Jeremy, Max and I have been talking about this while you were on the phone with Mr. Kaplan.
But he's at Big Sky and Sentinel Soccer right now.
Oh, cool.
Big game.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. We were just talking about how this is kind of a weak year for talented college football teams, which is kind of going to create a lot of good parity. And it's weird because last year, even though it was like a weird year, I'm gonna say that it was a more like Alabama was very dominant, and then like Ohio State was a better team last year. Clemson was probably a better team last year.
Probably. Wait.
Yeah, it was definitely a better team. Like
there
all teams have gotten worse. So last year was had more talent despite all the weird stuff going around with last year's season.
I have to give Clemson credit. I appreciate they're going the Wisconsin route of being so frustrating to watch on offense for the entire game because they're so terrible, but then being unbelievably good on defense. Like, I have to give them the credit for that. That being said, they suck this year. Like, Clemson is awful. They're
terrible.
You guys remember
bad.
You guys remember when Notre Dame fans were hyping up that win last year against this quarterback?
DJ, yeah. I mean, DJ, I was a full believer in him. And he could come back and play great, but God, he looks bad so far this year. Like, they're getting all their yards through their running game, and their best running back, who was supposed to come back for this year, is actually now the starting running back for Wisconsin football because he transferred. So now they're on their, second running back they're expecting to use. And they got DJ at quarterback who just is not looking great. And like the whole offense just looks terrible. And like versus Georgia, you accept the team isn't going to score a lot because Georgia defense is as good as anybody in the country. But versus Georgia Tech, to only score 14 points at home versus Georgia Tech, that's awful.
It's terrible. Also, rain game though, so all the Clemson fans are gonna say it's the rain, blah blah blah.
Trevor Lawrence would have thrown 5 touchdowns in the rain.
Yeah. Clemson would have won that game by 42 if Trevor Lawrence was on the field. Like this is what Clemson fans need to accept at this point.
I have a couple things I want to talk about. First is Ole Miss because I really like Ole Miss. I'm a big believer in Ole Miss.
I will be the only one to make this take. Ole Miss should be in the top 5 in the rankings.
I totally agree with you 100%. 100% believe it. I agree. There's no way that they should be below Texas A&M. There's no way.
The only reason they're not in the top 5 is preseason perception.
Yep.
That's the only reason they're not in the top 5.
There's no way Texas A&M should be ahead of them. No way.
Look, Alabama, Georgia, Oregon, Iowa. Those are the only 4 with any reasonable reason to be ahead of Ole Miss, in my opinion.
Also, I totally bought. I need to stop buying into that team, and I'm gonna like 2012 West Virginia with Geno Smith and those wide receivers that ended up being bad in the NFL.
Stedman Bailey for other reasons was bad in the NFL.
Stedman Bailey and Tavon Austin, I think, was on
Rams drafted both.
Yeah, and Tavon Austin was okay, but not expected to be.
Still running around out there, practice squads and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
When he was great, he was great.
But that team got so much preseason hype, and I was just like bought in. I was like, oh my gosh, we're gonna have a West Virginia playoff. Or sorry, there wasn't a playoff back then. I was like, West Virginia isn't gonna be in the national championship game. And like I did the same thing this year with Iowa State. Iowa State's getting a bunch of buzz, and Iowa State just shows that it's just okay. Like they're not even just okay; they might be bad. Like I don't know what happened to Iowa State in the offseason. Maybe
I totally 100% disagree with this. I think Iowa State's good. I think Iowa's really, really good. Like I legitimately think Iowa is really good.
Against Northern Iowa or whoever they played in their first.
They always do that though. They always do that. Look back on every single year that Iowa State has been decent. They always struggle week 1 against a small school or an FCS school. And Northern Iowa is probably the best FCS program other than North Dakota State. So like that's not an easy win.
A couple more takes about the AP poll, which sucked all year. Why are Ohio State and Clemson ahead of Florida after Florida just took Alabama to the brink is very difficult for me to understand.
I'm fine with Ohio State being ahead of Florida. I'm not fine with Clemson being ahead of Florida. Clemson is not good this year. Like they're straight up bad this year.
I don't pay attention to the AP poll. I pay attention when the college football playoff rankings come
out. As you should.
I don't care about or the USA Today coaches or whatever the hell they're doing these.
In the coaches poll, UCLA is ranked ahead of Fresno State, who they just lost to.
Fresno State. Okay, now I'm gonna get on this high horse. Fresno State, top 10 team in the country. I don't care who disagrees. They took Oregon to a 7-point game in Oregon at Autzen Stadium, and then they beat UCLA. They are a top 10 team. I don't care who says otherwise. They're easily the best non-Power 5 conference team. I think they're a top 10 team, no doubt.
Okay.
They played them tougher than Ohio State did. They played Oregon tougher than Ohio State did.
I don't disagree with you.
I have one more. We haven't even gotten into Arizona State. I don't think we need to get into Arizona State.
I mean, no, they're the most penalized team in the FBS. Like, that's all we need to know.
And yeah,
it just doesn't make sense because like Herm is like supposed to be that disciplined leadership guy, and now I'm like
and penalties.
Like, I just think that all his speeches are now BS and like no one listens to him. Like they're just gonna like everybody's like all the players are defending him on Twitter and stuff. Like, I think they just don't like him, or like they just don't respect him or something. It's just weird. Like,
that's a stretch.
it's weird. Then why don't they listen to him then?
They might just be bad at football, and also they're missing 3 of their position coaches right now. So
what does that have to do with penalties?
I mean, when you are missing 3 of your coaches that are supposed to, teach you, because I hate to break it to you, Jeremy, but the head coach isn't able to go around and talk to everyone at practice. There's 110 players on a college football team. Your position group coach is supposed to hear what the head coach says and preach that down to his group of guys.
100 players don't play in the game. It's more like 30.
Yes, there's more than 30 players that play in a game. Jeremy,
no, it's about 30.
What is my job? I look at the participation every game. There's more than there's probably like 35.
About 30.
Here's what I'm gonna say on ASU is just this is what I've been saying all year, and it's not anything bad about ASU. I think a lot of ASU this year. I think they're a really good team this year. I don't think this BYU loss is bad, honestly. I think BYU is a really, really solid football team. ASU is never as good in practice as they are on paper. And that's just the reality of it. I don't know what the reason for it is, but it's just the reality.
It's because, number one, Jaden is too nervous to trust his reads. He trusted one of his reads, and he made an absolutely amazing throw. He checked the coverage. He checked the protection at the line of scrimmage, made sure that he had an extra tight end to block on the line to make sure that he had enough time to throw it down the field, and delivered a dime. See, that's what NFL scouts love. That's what people have been raving about with Jaden Daniels. If he could do that every play, then we wouldn't be having this discussion right now. ASU would have won by 20 points. But the problem with Jaden is he doesn't trust his arm. He doesn't trust his throwing ability. And he has the arm. He has the throwing ability. Go ahead, Jesse.
Hold on real quick. And then we should probably talk NFL. But, I think that everyone's overhyped on this team. But
including you.
That's pretty much.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, there's gonna need to come like a time when you like admit whatever.
Yes, I know. I overhyped them too. I will fully admit that I overhyped them. They're probably not going to make the Rose Bowl, and they're sure as hell not going to make the college football playoff. That was stupid by me and some other people that shouldn't have been believing that either. But like on paper, they look like the best team, if not the second best team in the Pac-12. But like their 5-star recruits aren't living up to being 5-star recruits. Jaden isn't that good. He's got some limitations, and the penalty thing is really bad. But my takeaway though from that game on Saturday is that they thoroughly outplayed BYU. They beat themselves.
They beat themselves. That's what happened.
So,
they could have very easily lost to Southern Utah if they like had the same game like that, and they had a similar game.
Yeah, and this has been my thing with ASU football all years. They scream 8-4 to me because they're a good football team. They're a really, really good football team. They're more talented than almost any team they'll play. It's just ASU football always seems to get in their own way, and they're gonna have to prove to me that they don't before I believe in them. That's like my thing with ASU football.
And this is Herm's, and this is probably Herm's last year. That's not any inside information. People understand that.
Yeah, it feels like that.
What happens in the investigation and what happens on the field, because let's remember at the end of the day, he is Ray Anderson's guy, and so I think that Herm will have to, that Ray Anderson will really have to like make a very tough decision because they are really good friends.
I don't think he's going to get fired. I think he's going to step away. I think that's what's going to happen.
It feels overall like his last year. I can't explain why, but it does feel like that.
Yeah.
We'll see. I mean, he's only 60. He's 2 years younger than Bill Belichick and like 3 years younger than Pete Carroll, and they're still coaching.
Well, he's getting paid a lot less than those two.
So getting paid a lot, though.
He is.
Jeremy, do you want to talk NFL?
Yeah, sure.
I play the Bills this week too. It's fine.
It's not, the Bills aren't that good. Josh Allen had one of the worst games of his career.
Good
You know
defense.
who is good though?
The Rams.
Congrats on your 3-point win against Jacob Eason. And
Well, Jacob Eason threw 3 passes in that game.
Carson Wentz who somehow sprained both ankles in that game. I don't know how you do that. I literally don't know this.
I'll tell you how you do that. Aaron Donald is how you do that.
True, but also like Carson Wentz tries to run around out there and like escape from things, and it just ends up leading to him getting hurt. He's never figured
Here's the
out.
thing.
Yeah.
Carson Wentz is too confident in his abilities. That's just fully what I've come to the conclusion of, because I was watching that game and I'm like, Carson Wentz is playing great in this game. Like, Carson Wentz looks really good. Carson Wentz is going out there, making plays, running around, throwing the ball up, throwing it accurately. Like, he's scrambling, and he's almost too confident in his abilities, where at some point he's going to do something stupid that gets himself injured. And that's exactly what he did against the Rams, because he was scrambling around, running around, testing it. Like, he was getting hit on almost every throw, and you knew eventually one of these plays was going to get him injured. And that's just the reality with Carson Wentz.
Is he still not vaccinated?
I don't know about that. That's information that I'm not sure of.
Not privy to.
Also, Lamar Jackson, we don't know if he's vaccinated or not.
Or Dak Prescott.
I think Dak's vaccinated.
I don't know. There's some questions about that.
We were very impressed, Scott, with his play the other day, though.
I watched him on Hard Knocks, and if you're in the facility, and you're not vaccinated, then you have to wear a mask. If you're vaccinated, you don't have to wear a mask. And so he wasn't wearing a mask, so I assume that he's vaccinated. Or he's just going to pay the fines like that guy with the Dolphins that I don't understand why he's still on the team.
Yeah, that's a big question there.
That like third string tight end.
Yeah.
That they keep on the roster for whatever reason.
It's the least of their problems right now.
Also true.
Offensive line. Apparently they're shuffling. They're just moving their guards to tackle and moving their tackles to guard. Let's see how that works this week.
Those aren't like interchangeable positions.
You have like a 6'3", 285 left tackle.
Listen, I don't pretend to know about tackle and guard play. We'll see how that works out.
My team won.
Yeah.
Got lucky on a Thursday night. Same with the Cardinals, also got lucky.
Was he offsides?
Yes, 100%. Did you watch the game?
I don't know. It was very close. Do you see the screenshots?
And over the line.
I'm going to be honest, I didn't watch the game.
I don't blame you for not watching a Washington Giants game on a Thursday night.
I didn't know the Washington team was named the Giants.
Here's the really sad thing about it. I had nothing better to do either, and I still didn't watch it.
No, you know what? Actually, the fact that Davis Mills is going to be the starting quarterback for the Houston Texans on Thursday is going to make me watch that game. Actually, it's not, because I'm going to the Mercury playoff game. Forgot about that.
I think Houston wins on Thursday.
I'll be in Phoenix. Might go to that.
You want to come?
Yeah, I might.
I already bought my ticket. It's at GCU Arena.
Well, I still don't believe that GCU is actually a college, so I might want to go to that just to confirm it.
If you buy a ticket individually like I did, that we can just figure out some way to sit together.
Probably. Yeah, I might try to go that, because I fly in on Thursday afternoon. So
I'm going by myself right now. And it's Sabrina Ionescu's New York Liberty, worst to playoffs.
Okay, I might consider going to that, because I know who she is. Like, I'm
7,000 seat arena. It's probably gonna have all 7,000 there, so that'll be a nice atmosphere.
Yeah, I'm kind of into that. I might consider going to that. I'll let you know. This is probably something to talk about off the show, but
I bought first row of the upper level.
Okay.
So that's where I'm sitting. If you wanna, I don't know if there's tickets still available though. It'll probably I forget who's the concert at the footprint center as to why they can't play. Can we stop with the scheduling concerts in the middle of playoff runs thing? Like it happens every year where we see WNBA playoff games played at a. Why am I talking about this? It's a football show.
Why did the Panthers change their center to arena? It's the center. It's the center of it all. I don't understand why they changed it.
Everything.
E doesn't is.
Tomato.
Yeah.
Are the Raiders for real?
No. The Dolphins are probably going to beat them on Sunday.
I'm just. They have had 2 pretty good wins.
Do you know? I think the Texans might win on Thursday, but there's a chance that the Panthers and the Broncos both start 3-0.
Yeah, with Darnold and Bridgewater at quarterback. I really wanted Bridgewater to suck because for some reason I like Drew Lock like he's my own son.
I think the Panthers are actually pretty good.
You and Drew Lock are the same age.
Yeah, my brother, whatever.
But here's my thing on the Panthers. Like them being 3-0 wouldn't be that shocking to me because, yes, we've seen Darnold, whatever. But the skill talent that's around him,
yeah, their defense is really good.
Strong. If you put a good quarterback on that team, that's one of the best offenses in the NFL.
That's what I'm saying about the Raiders, though. The Raiders might be for real because their defense is good this year. I think Derek Carr. You can't spell elite without DEREK.
Sure.
Sure. Yeah. Can you name 2 of their wide receivers?
On the Raiders?
Yeah.
Yeah.
One.
Of course.
Name
Henry
2, Jesse.
Ruggs,
yeah.
And my one of my favorite Clemson player of all time, Hunter Renfrow.
Yeah, there you go.
That works. There you go. You got 2. I believe in you now.
Surprised he's not on the Patriots.
That's what I do with Jesse. If he can't name 2 skill position players and he says, "Oh, they have good skill position players," then I know he's just talking out of his
defense.
Name 2 of their cornerbacks.
Their cornerbacks? I don't know, but I know 2 of their defensive linemen.
Yeah.
Just name 2 Clemson players, and it's probably true with the Raiders.
They got Cleveland Farrell.
Cleveland Farrell. He was a healthy scratch last week.
Are y'all surprised that Hunter Renfrow isn't out there for the Patriots?
He will be.
Yeah, it's just a matter of time.
Yeah.
Once
him and
Shevsky.
Him and Barrios will be out there.
Barrios is a Jet, right?
Yeah, leading receiver.
He had 1 good year at Miami.
Yeah, and he has the gift that does that. Because they were playing at North Carolina, and North Carolina were doing the U down, and so when he hates that. And so when he scored a touchdown against North Carolina at North Carolina, he brought the U back up, and everybody just loved him after that.
Max, so you think I'm thinking Stafford or Brady for MVP?
I mean,
or Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray's really good.
Kyler Murray, I think, is in the pole position right now.
Tell me how I had 2 players with 45 plus points and still lost to Jesse this week.
Because we're in a 4-team league.
No.
40 points is nothing.
This was the 12-team league.
Oh, okay. Then I have no idea.
This is the league that you aren't in anymore. Because I asked everybody in the group chat who wants to be on our fantasy league, and you didn't respond yes, so I just kicked you out.
Yeah, I'm cutting my leagues down by a bunch. I'm in 3 right now. Frankly, I haven't looked at the 4-team league that we're in once, so really I'm in 2. But
I think you might have beat me this week, Max.
No, I think I lost to you. I do think I know that because Kittle is really, really letting me down right now. But
you do realize it's a punishment league, right?
What's the punishment?
You have to dress up in the apparel of your least favorite NFL team on one of our shows.
I don't care about that.
You want to wear a big cheese head?
That's fine. Whatever. I'm used to being mistaken for a Packers fan. I'm fine with that.
I beat Zach 264.2 to 197.1, and in the other league I won 197.0 to 139.5 because Derrick Henry on both teams for me. I was just bathing in his points this weekend. I was bathing in points.
I was also bathing in points with
Aaron Jones?
with Aaron Jones.
Yeah, but maybe you should, not start Jerry Jeudy when he's on IR.
Yeah.
Out 4 to 6.
Max, I beat you by 20.
Well, whatever.
I would like for you guys to care about this league. I think it's fun.
So who are the least liked teams? I mean, obviously, we've got probably Cowboys for Jesse, I'm assuming.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to wear something Cowboys. My roommate's a Cowboys fan.
And I'm assuming Jeremy probably is Patriots.
Jets.
You like the Jets?
Why?
Why? What have they done to you in your life? They're the.
I hate their fans more than I hate Patriots fans.
Fair enough.
I like Jets fans.
But I feel like we've got a 2-4 chance at Jets though, because I feel like Zach's least favorite is Jets, right?
Yeah. Jets and Mets. Jets, Mets, Nets people are much nicer than Knicks, Giants, Yankees people.
If I was a New York sports fan, I'd definitely be Jets, Mets, Nets, Islanders.
Yeah, Islanders as well. I forgot the Islanders.
Islanders fits in. I know it doesn't rhyme like the other three do, but that fits into that group.
Yeah, I would as well. I agree with you because I don't know. I don't like the Rangers.
Because Rangers are much more Giants, Yankees.
One of the best uniforms in sports history, but
yeah, it's okay.
No, yeah, I hate the Jets more. I grew up being told to hate the Jets, so I hate.
What's the Bills?
The Bills are just there. They've always just been there.
Fair enough.
Did I mute that in time?
Yeah.
Oh,
Not a fine.
And so then obviously I'm Packers, so that's no big deal though.
Which is weird because yours should probably be like the Cardinals or the Seahawks or Niners.
Well, my dad's a Cardinals fan, so I don't really root against them. Like I don't really.
Yeah, me either.
Them. Then the Seahawks, like I love Russell Wilson. Like I can't root against the Seahawks. And then 49ers, I mean, give me another couple months out here. Like I'm literally 4 miles from the 49ers stadium right now. So give me another few months here and they might.
I guess you're going to Rams 49ers whenever that happens.
I'm not sure just because like I don't love going to games as an opposing fan. But I think I'm gonna take that opportunity because I drove over to their stadium the other day. And it's like a 14-minute drive, and it's like, how do I pass that up? So,
yeah, here's the thing. I think that you're fine not getting beat up in with the San Francisco 49ers fans. I went to a game. They were passing dubs around. That's what they were doing at San Francisco 49ers games.
Like, I'm thinking I might go in like neutral clothing, like en route for the Rams, but just go neutral clothing. So like nobody knows.
Or you could just bring your jersey in the like with you and put it on once you're at your seat.
Yeah, we'll find a way. I think I am going to go to Rams 49ers.
I've heard that stadium though is like sucky compared to all the rest of the new ones that have been built. Like
I mean, it looked pretty cool from the outside. I couldn't get that close because they had like barricades up, like blocking all the parking lots. I don't know, but like because I drove over there one day randomly. I was just like, oh yeah, like it's like 3 miles away. I'm gonna go drive over there, and like you couldn't even get close to it.
Are you gonna try to get down to SoFi?
What?
Are you gonna try to get down to SoFi?
I'm hoping to. I'm hoping to in early December get down there.
Okay.
I think they play the Jaguars like December 5th or something like that.
Well, if anyone wants to check out the Allegiant Stadium, the Death Star in Vegas, December 5th. Washington football team, Las Vegas Raiders.
Yeah, I might do that.
You gotta be required to.
We are going to Vegas for Mallory's birthday. I don't know if Max is coming too, but
what date?
The 18th or 19th of December. I'm not sure. Somewhere in December.
I don't know if I'm invited to that.
You're always invited.
I look. I'm never one to turn down a Vegas trip. So like.
I'm inviting every single one of my friends, so someone's got to come.
I'm down. Like
I have to be paid for because again, I'm going to be in Vegas like 2 weeks before that. Hopefully for the Pac-12 championship game, and then for the game that.
I was hoping because San Jose State football plays in Vegas on my birthday weekend, and it was just kind of like like I'm not sure type of thing. So I decided to skip on.
I just want to go. I just want to go to Allegiant Stadium, and I'm super excited to go to Allegiant Stadium too because it's like you have to be vaccinated to go. So like there's like zero hesitation in going because like even like the Mercury playoff game, I'm like, I know I'm vaccinated, but like, do I want to go? I'll be like, I'm just gonna go wear a mask. I'll be fine. And then
That's where I'm at with Wisconsin football because like I went to the USC San Jose State game, like it was like 40% full, like no issue. Like if I go to the ASU Colorado game, I'm sure like I can spread out if I need to. Wisconsin, Michigan, I'm not going to be able to, and so that's like the one thing that I'm like, oh well, okay, but
again, I went to see Hamilton, Max. I don't know if you saw that.
No, I didn't. But now I want to talk to you about it because seeing Hamilton in person is amazing.
Oh,
it is. It's great. I saw it too.
And
yeah.
It was the cast was amazing. Like the cast was so close to.
You were finally in the room where it happens.
I know. I was. And it was and I was it was packed house at Gamage.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much everybody was wearing their mask.
You were supposed to. You had to. It was required.
Nobody else in like, and I've been fine. I got a COVID test a couple days after that actually, and I was fine.
There you go.
So,
I
think I'm cool. I think I'm pretty comfortable to go to games and stuff.
This was supposed to be a football show. We could talk about Hamilton after. Even though I'd love talking Hamilton. We're gonna move on real quick. I want to talk about Lamar Jackson, and I want to get out of here.
Is he vaccinated?
Again, we already went over this. Lamar Jackson, guts.
Yeah, he's not perfect. He's always gonna have some issues throwing the football, but like, he's a good player. Like, he's gonna do things that are really good, and he's a competent enough passer to get away with it. Like, he's a better passer than he gets credit for, I think.
I agree with that. Here's my thing. He's not the one I'm saying guts about. John Harbaugh is who I'm saying guts about. Going for it on that fourth down, immediately when he went for it, I was like, I don't even care if they get this or not. He's coach of the year in the NFL. I don't care if they get this or not. I love that decision to go for it. On
there's no other you can't do it any other way. It's the Chiefs. They're going to march out and score with no time left.
I agree. You can't do it any other way. But it seems like every single powerful football coach disagrees. So I love that John Harbaugh was like, yeah, we're going for this. Let's do it. Let's trust our offense.
It was Lamar Jackson's decision, though.
But that's what's great about it. Because, like, you saw that video of Harbaugh saying, like, are you good to go for this? And Jackson's like, yes. Like, the ability to trust your quarterback that he feels confident going for it. You send him out there. He's a veteran quarterback at this point. He's in his fourth year, I think. Like, you send him out there and you say, go win us this football game. That's what a great coach does, is says to their quarterback, let's go win this football game. I trust you. And I love that he did that.
Yep.
Jim should take some advice from his brother.
Well, the problem with Jim is he hasn't had a good quarterback since Andrew Luck. So.
And he has khakis. Where does he buy those, you think? Walmart, Kohl's, like what cheap is
they're specially made, I think.
Still around anywhere?
I think they're specially made. I think he orders khakis in.
He always has that confused look on his face too. Like, why are we losing 28-6 to Illinois? Or whoever they're playing. Illinois.
Brett Bielema was a better coach than him.
Illinois, by the way. What a school that is. What a bunch of, 30-year-olds going out there with Bielema as their coach. And they got that quarterback from Rutgers who
he's their backup.
What? Yeah, he's their backup.
Their starter is the quarterback from Michigan.
That team is fun. Same. I really like Maryland with Tua's brother.
No, don't buy into Maryland. I'm telling you, every single year Maryland looks good the first few weeks, and then they go 4-8.
Is Maryland for real?
Every single year they look great the first few weeks, and then they just completely fall apart. Don't fall for Maryland.
Remember last year when they like had so much COVID in their athletic department, like that we had no idea what was going on there. That was crazy. They ended up only playing 5 games last season as well.
So did Wisconsin, and then ASU only played 4 games, and I was sad all year because
I thought y'all played 6 because you played in a bowl game.
We did play 6. There was a bowl game, yes.
Yeah, so there's that.
What was where do we think Harbaugh gets his khakis? Was it Old Navy, Walmart?
I think specially ordered.
Specially ordered. We decided on that. You don't need to put that on the poll. Let's just wrap it up, Jeremy. I gotta get.
I'm putting it on the poll.
I forgot to cancel something that just cost me $50. I'm really trying to get that money back.
All right.
Why did you put Kmart? Because there's like 6 of them left.
I put Walmart.
Way,
I put Walmart. I put Walmart.
I know, but Kmart's funnier.
What?
I'm voting special order, but also, like, what's wrong with Old Navy?
I like Old Navy.
Yeah, but we're making fun of his khakis because he's like a rich coach that wears cheap-looking khakis.
I'm gonna read the polls and then we're gonna get out of here. Okay.
Okay. We'll ask Max for his rankings on a show that we do later this week.
Where does Jim Harbaugh get his khakis? Walmart, Old Navy, or special order? 100% special order.
Yeah, because I'm the only one that's voted in that.
3 votes. Special order. Jets, Nets, Mets? Question mark. 67% say yes. When he was great, was he great? 100% say yes. Did you think there would be a Pierre Garçon reference today? 100% no. Those are the polls.
Mount Union, great.
That's going to do it for this special episode, Football Tuesday of the Outside the Base Path podcast. Make sure to follow us on Twitter at OT Base Path and check us out on YouTube and Spotify. Thank you everyone for listening.
We should definitely call this like the illegal touching show or something when we're just calling football, because like, you know, you're running outside and come back in. It's kind of like being outside the base path. There was an illegal touching call in a game this week and it negated a touchdown. Forget if it was college or NFL.
There goes Jesse producing live on the show.